Hey guys, I am Game Advisor, and today we'll be going over a beginning guide to gathering. We're going to talk about some things you just might not have known, as well as some just useful tips along the way. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we even begin gathering, we want to make sure we have good tools. I highly recommend you get the best tools that you can as soon as possible, and if you have friends that are higher level, just ask them to give you some. Aside from that, if you do plan on crafting your own, you can go ahead and do so, and by spending a minimum of 15 Azoth on iron tools, you will be guaranteed to get a bonus perk, which can give you some type of additional traits to it, such as gaining Azoth from gathering, or increasing the durability of that tool by 30%. It is also worth noting here that the higher quality the tool, the faster it is likely to gather. However, before you leave the town you're in, you're going to want to do yourself a favor and pick up the free resources. Just about every city has some kind of free resource in it, usually being honey and some kind of cow that you're able to milk. So go ahead and make sure you find these and use them, as it is essentially free resources. Now, if you do own it as part of your faction, so say if you're green like we are and you control that city, then you can go ahead and get yourself some bonus resources from a little cart right outside the city hall. Now that you're actually out there and gathering, you're going to want to make sure that you get away from the cities. Of course, if you are low level and just gathering trees or hitting some rocks, then this really isn't a big deal, but as you want to get the rarer resources, even things such as iron are much more plentiful the further away you are from quest hubs as well as big cities. So do yourself a favor and just go a little bit further out, as it will save you a ton of time when looking for rare resources. After that is that you need to be keeping an eye out for these weird looking, rare kind of crooked tree stump things. When you do come upon them, make sure you check them out, as they do have a high chance of giving you some rare materials that can sell for quite the hefty amount. Alrighty, it is very important though that we cover the biome system in New World. The way this works is actually pretty simple. What you're going to want to do is open up your map, followed by going to the resource section. Here you'll be able to see every biome nearby, as well as be able to see the resources that are likely to be in each one of them. However, do note this is not restricted to only these biomes, just they are more likely to be found in said biomes. So we're going to go ahead and go over each one real quick. Now, if you're looking for the forest biome, you're going to want to go ahead and zoom real close in and look for those trees. That's going to be your sign that this is a forest biome. And in this forest biome, of course, you're going to be finding lots of trees, but there are some other things worth noting. There is a fair amount of hemp in these forest biomes, so if you are looking to get some, do keep an eye out for that. I have also seen iron nodes in them, so just be aware that they do exist and they're out there, but generally speaking, what you're mainly going to find is just going to be your traditional trees. After that is the grasslands, which is signified by a little kind of zigzaggy grassy symbol. Again, you're just going to find it by zooming in, as you will with all of these. The grasslands are absolutely great if you are looking for hemp. Hemp is so plentiful out there, it is ridiculous, as well as honey in some areas. Now, animals are also going to be out there a lot. We personally ran into a lot of buffaloes and boars, so if you're trying to level your skinning, this might be a good option for you. Then you're going to have your highlands. Your highlands are essentially going to be where you're going to find the majority of your rare minerals, as well as you'll start to notice you come across a lot of wolves. So again, early level skinning, this will be a great way for you to find animals while also leveling your mining and getting rare materials at the same time. Following that is the marshes, which are really mostly just used for finding oil. We did come across a fair amount of other resources in the area, but for the most part, what we found to be most useful out of the marsh biomes was going to be the oil. After that, you have the shrublands, which are just going to be these little tiny bush icons. What we found a lot of in these biomes were a ton of rabbits, trees, and just also some berries. There really wasn't anything too crazy here, but again, another good place to level your skinning, maybe even your gathering, as there do tend to be a lot of berries in that area. For the last two, you have your coastal hills and you have your beaches. Now, your coastal hills will still have some useful things in them. We did find a fair amount of herbs and some other random resources, but nothing really too notable there. What we did find, however, was that the beach biomes were really bad. So just do yourself a favor. Usually there's not going to be a lot out there. We did find some supply chests and things like that, but not really much, as they were mostly barren when it came to gathering. Now, as a bonus tip for you, I just wanted to point out that there is a few different places we know of that are pretty darn good when it comes to gathering and leveling up in that early phase. These may not be the best places, but they are useful nonetheless. One of these is going to be basically just any farm that is not corrupted. If you find a farm, there is a lot of corn, there's a lot of berries, there's usually just a lot of things that you can use to get those first few levels of gathering going in order to be able to get the higher stuff. Of course, you can just go gather all the hemp out in the grasslands, but if you're wanting to do cooking, then this is a good option for you to go ahead and go after. Now, lastly, this one is kind of a little scummy, but if someone's gathering a rare resource that you happen to want, you can try to get them off of it by baiting an enemy into attacking them. After they get hit, it will cancel their cast, and the progress on that node is then saved. So if they say got 5 hits on it and it needs 1 more hit in order for you to gather that node, you can get the animal or whatever is chasing you around to hit them, and then you can get that last hit in, and boom, you just got yourself some free resources at the punishment of some other player. Again, pretty scummy, but it is something you can do. Okay, so that is going to wrap things up for us. Now, before you guys go, do please leave a like or at least comment down below if you guys have any questions related to gathering or you found this video informational. If you want to see more of this content, you can also just leave a like or just comment down below that you want to see more stuff, and do feel free to let us know what kind of guides, what kind of tutorials, reviews that you guys would like to see. Aside from all of that, I am Game Advisor. Thank you so much for watching. We could not do this without you, and I'll see you next time.